Well, I didn't get another one of these for myself. I've got the Keykeeper hooked. He heard some of mine playing, he's heard them drive headphones and loudspeakers, and he decided that he kind of really likes the sound. So he had me find him an SA-919 Technics receiver. Some of you pronounce that Techniques. You can do whatever you want, I guess. But anyway, this thing works, but it's definitely had some action in its lifetime. It's got some scuffs and scars up here, and all the dial lighting's burned out. The one for the backlight that lights up this plastic piece, and this other one that lights up the frequency display, because after 20 some odd years of use, those little bulbs just give it up. And somebody kind of discombustulated the volume control. It works, but there's a little metal shaft that this thing rides on, and somebody broke the plastic that it's molded into, so I'm going to have to come up with a fix for that. So stay tuned for kitchen table electronics repair. Looks like Bizarre Furhead left his football in here, and of course that's okay because footballs are an integral part of stereo receiver repair. Once again, it's pretty much the same old recipe. These little rubber jacketed holders, they just pop out of here with a little bit of violence. You see that bulb's just kind of burned itself black. And then there's another one over here going to the front panel, which has actually got some kind of a little lampshade on it that we'll have to save and reuse. I had a little bit of a setback here. My light bulb must have gotten up to air somehow, because I powered it on and it incandesced for a moment, and then it flickered, and then it was gone, and now it's full of white stuff, probably vaporized filament or something. So I have to get another bulb for that, but at least the other one in the front panel is now working. So it's a start. Now this is the second problem with the Keykeeper's new stereo receiver. See this little metal shaft right here? This is what the sliding volume control rides along as it operates the potentiometer to change the volume. And somebody broke that. When I popped this thing open, I found the piece of plastic rattling around, but then it slipped off to some unexplored corner of the kitchen table. Now what I've gone ahead and done here in preparation for this is I've removed the tape monitor switch, which you can see me sticking a screwdriver through the empty hole. And you can remove these switches to give yourself more room. They just kind of pivot off of the control shaft, and then you can pivot them out and set them aside. Now in this case, they're actually labeled with the function performed, like this one is a CD, and this other one was the tape monitor, which you can see it's got kind of a tape thing on there. So make sure you get them back in the right place if you care about it reading right. But now, if I work the volume control, you can see what's going wrong here. Now the volume control still does work, but it doesn't work really like it ought to. And that thing's flopping around in here, and it could come off, and that's just asking for trouble. So really, I've kind of given some thought as to how to fix that, and I really think that probably careful application of some hot glue with it in the right place is probably the best way, and then just to tell the Keykeeper to exercise some care. People should treat their electronics with some respect. And there's the whole mess pretty much done up in hot glue. Try to set this light here so you can see what happens as the volume control works in here. And maybe you can see it and maybe you can't. And maybe I just got a big old doober of hot glue on the camera. But whatever, if you look in there carefully, you can kind of see it slide across in the background. You see how that metal rod is a load-bearing joint, and so it has to be firmly fixed into place. But I think that should be a firm enough fix, because even if I get pretty animated with the control here, it doesn't move a bit. So I'll just tell the Keykeeper to be kind of careful with it. Okay, and there's the whole thing pretty much repaired. Now for right now, I've simply swapped the light bulbs between this transparent cover illumination and the actual tuning illuminator, so this display is a little different color than it ought to be. And I've just got the other one set somewhere where it won't make any trouble or short out with anything. So it can be used in the meantime, because I have a feeling that the Keykeeper is going to prefer his tuner display over this piece of plastic lighting up until I can get another bulb. But the local auto parts store is closed until Monday, so I'll just have to wait with that. But in the meantime, this thing is ready to roll once again.